tell. I think we gotta climb. Are you alright? Careful. A wall of cliffs and rock that stretches for miles. Faces that rise higher and higher. A ridge broken by spiky towers. This was going to be our campsite, featuring breathtaking views stretching off into the distance. The route itself was treacherous. It followed the winding path that hugs the narrow cliff ledges. One slip could be disastrous. This otherworldly sight is By the time we arrived, it was already past 7, and we still had no campsite. Having parked down the road, we saw the ridge looming in front of us, the jagged cliffs waiting for us. It wasn't long before we approached the start of the cliffs and parted ways with the road, the scale of the cliffs becoming ever more apparent. By this time, the crowds had gone. Evening left the place silent, and it felt for a while like we had the ridge to ourselves. With the light fading, we set off to find a campsite. The first stretch was simple enough, a dirt track, fairly level, but we knew it wouldn't last. It gave us a moment to settle into the walk, feel the drag of the packs, and take in the scale all around us. Soon, the ground fell sharply at our side. From then on, every step demanded more attention. The views opened wide, vast ridges stretching away, but the exposure made sure you never forgot how precarious it was. The emptiness only highlighted the place's unique nature. It felt unreal, like something pulled out of a story. We didn't talk much, just walked in step, heavy packs shifting on our shoulders, and let the cliffs dictate the pace.
Just oh boy.
The path tightened, clinging to the slope. Each step carried more weight than before. Soon, the path turned serious. Loose rocks and uneven steps slowed our rhythm. Balance mattered more now. The light was fading, but we had to slow down and take care. We were very aware we couldn't risk being caught here once the dark set in. We soon came to a crack in the rock, wet from water running down. The stones felt very slick. The path forced us to bridge the gap.
I like how we're like, this is not easy.
We had to climb the rock face.
Alright.
Treacherous, but it looked dry enough to pass.
Alright.
We had made it to the other side.
Oh yeah, I didn't see it. I swore I had a wall, I think. Not bit of your now.
Once across, we paused for a breath, having been reminded how a simple walk could turn serious.
The place you're pointing out.
We began being pressed for time, and every bend showed more ground still to cover. And always, the walls of rock were waiting ahead. Step after step, we navigated the passage. But even with the strain, it was hard not to smile at where we were. Small streams cut across the path, harmless today, but in wetter weather could have been treacherous. We crossed them quickly and began trying to find a campsite.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, we keep following this for now.
Sorry?
We keep following this for now.
With no time left, we had to find a spot to pitch our tents.
What if we get down that way, but that looks cool to go there.
Every rise gave us a chance to look ahead to see if the ridge would offer anything.
Alright, is that it?
We were at the steepest section, with sheer drops and unknowns around every bend. We had to make a decision on where to camp.
Sorry.
We took a moment to gather our thoughts and plan ahead. We were out of time and needed to find a site immediately. We had no time to go further. But then, as luck had it, we found a flatter patch and proceeded to investigate. We'd come to a rocky outcrop. We just needed a small grassy patch big enough to fit our tent. But finally, we found it. The approach had been long and unforgiving, a narrow trail twisting through the rocky landscape. But we had finally made it, and set up camp on a rocky outcrop. From our campsite, we had views that spanned for miles. A campsite that was completely dwarfed by the cliff faces around. A campsite to remember. Camp was finally set. For the first time that evening, we could stop and fully take in our surroundings. There was still work to do, sorting our gear and getting food ready. The focus turned to dinner and settling down for the evening. Though we felt secure, we were awfully aware of how exposed we truly were. On our ledge, we felt on the edge of the world, looking over the landscape. As unique as the setting was, one change in the weather could put us at serious risk. On all sides we were exposed, and had no escape route, other than the narrow paths along the ledges by which we came. With clouds rolling in, and the light draining, there was a slight bit of tension in the air. How secure were we if the weather turned? But ultimately, we had no escape at this point. So for now, we tried to remain calm, and hoped we were secure enough for the night. We settled down for the evening, not knowing what the night had in store for us. Early the next morning, we were woken up. The bright morning sun was shining onto the cliffs, and it was stunning. The weather overnight had cleared, leaving us with a breathtaking sunrise. Our campsite had paid off. This spot felt out of this world. It felt like no campsite we'd ever been to before. We agreed this was our all-time favourite camp spot. And we were lucky to have experienced it.
What was that?
So after packing up our gear, it was time to set off. Make our way back to the car. We'll be following the same path back, this time with lighter feet. The sheer drops were just as intimidating, but at least we knew how to navigate them. We walked in high spirits, without the foreboding of the unknown that we had the night before. The same paths seemed almost easier in the morning light, but still taking the utmost care. We kept turning corners, being met with views that blew us away. As we head back, we recognized familiar obstacles. The rocks now slipperier after the cold night. Despite the challenges, we maintained a good pace.
Careful.
Being cautious as we walked, and taking regular breaks to view our surroundings. It was actually from some of the trickier points that the beauty of this place became particularly apparent. And as we began to leave, we got plenty of such experiences. We had stayed on the Quiraing, a place that didn't feel like Earth. A place that felt like we were trekking across another world. Even though we hadn't yet reached the car park, we were already reflecting on the impact this place had had on us. It was with a final view that we waved goodbye and set foot back onto the made path. We continued along the road back to our car, ecstatic from our visit. From here, it felt like two different worlds. But back at the car, we had only one question. Where next?